Hi, welcome to Ed Talk. This is the show that discusses all things that impact our local schools here in Nevada County. I'm your host, Scott Lay, Nevada County Superintendent of Schools. Today, I have my guest, who is Katie Kohler. She is the Superintendent Principal of Chicago Park School, and she's going to be talking to us about what I really think is an innovative program that she is doing in conjunction with the county special ed program. So, Katie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Thanks for taking time to drive all the way past the studio out to your school and then drive all the way back here. Really appreciate you coming to talk about it. But I really do think this is a very cool program that you're going to get. A grant that you got, usually reserved for high schools, but you got it, and I think it's phenomenal for our kids here in the county and what it's going to do, and just your forward thinking that you always show out at Chicago Park School.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
So we'll just cut to the chase on this program, because I love it. So this is, first of all, this is a CTE program, correct?
Yes.
Which is Career Tech Ed, which is usually
for high schools.
In the high school students,
correct? It is mostly a high school program. We have our CTE Ag portion of our program is TK through 8th grade, which is a very rare thing.
Which is very rare, you don't see that very often. You're one of the few elementary districts that has that,
there's a few others in the state, but it's very low numbers. I think it's single digits.
In our county, right.
Not that I know
You're the only one, and the only one I've heard of around this area.
Yeah, so it's exciting. It's been amazing. It's transformed our school.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the things you're doing out there are very cool. We'll talk a little at the end about your school. Give you a little plug there of all the cool things going on at Chicago Park. But right now, so let's talk about that. So what is this grant that you got for this program? Yeah,
so we applied for the grant. It's called Strong Workforce Grant. It's really written for high school. It's technically 7th through 12th grade. And most high schools, especially in our area, use that grant to fund their ag programs. And so we went with the ag focus, and we wanted to have more opportunities for our students. So this is going to allow us to do that. But the program really is for anything in career tech. We just went with the pathway of ag studies.
The pathway of ag.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that, ag is part of your upbringing.
Yes.
You're a local Nevada Countyan. You went to our local schools, and ag has always been a part of your life. And I really love how you've infused it into the Chicago Park curriculum. Yeah. Because it's the perfect setting for this. Yeah. So with this program, what are the goals of the program?
This is where it gets really creative. So, and we'll be the first in the state to do this. No one else has a program like this. So the goal is to take what we were doing with our kids at our school right now and expand it. So, and this is where we're with one of your employees, Eli, who's fabulous, our special ed director for our county, our assistant superintendent. Right. Him and I are going to work on a plan to have the kids that are in our county special ed program actually come to our school farm, our half-acre farm, a couple times a month and actually do lessons. And the goal is to have our current Chicago Park students working with those students.
Side by side.
Side by side. So it's getting them out of the classroom, it's getting them hands-on, getting in the dirt, working with, we have chickens and bunnies on campus. So working with the animals, starting seeds, harvesting, doing some cooking lessons out there to really teach them their hard work. There's a lot of perks that you get for that hard work.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. And I know for our audience, that's what we, with our county special education programs, these are usually students that are moderate to severe with their needs, whose needs cannot be met on their district traditional classrooms. So we serve them. So this is what we do called mainstreaming. We try to get them. The goal is always to have these students go back to be in the least restrictive environment. Yeah. And coming out to a farm is about as least restrictive as you can get. It's awesome. So they're going to be out there. So tell us a little more detail of the program. So you're doing this currently with your kids.
Yes.
And then we're going to bring the county special ed kids coming from a couple of our schools. I think probably Union Hill is going to be the closest one.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, and then we'll get them on buses and bring them over to your school, which is about 15 minutes away approximately from that site.
Yeah, and it's all included. Busing, everything will be included. So there'll be no cost to the program or to the families, which is the best part. Right, it's just something benefit for the kids. But our current students are on the farm at least once a week. And what's really transformed them is them seeing their hard work. They're able to harvest their food and actually eat it. So
which is amazing. Kids
it is amazing.
That's where it came from.
Yeah,
I get it now.
Yesterday, the kids were eating homemade salads. They've made tacos. They've made homemade sauerkraut. They've harvested the food and put it into our salad bar for lunch.
Right.
So many things, and they're really seeing their hard work, and it's a treat.
Yeah.
They fill their pockets with tomatoes. They when we breed our bunnies, they're actually working with the bunnies, the baby bunnies, and then we're able to sell them for a fundraiser to go back into the program. Mm-hmm. So they're seeing all these amazing things happen and learning work ethic, learning leadership skills.
So much to it.
So much to it. And so what's going to be amazing is our kids are going to be able to work with the students and teach them, be leaders, and show them, but also learn empathy, learn how to communicate. There's so many more pieces that there is going to be a gift for them as well. It's for both ways. It's going to be
general ed students and our special ed students.
It's going to be a gift for both parties. So I think it's going to be wonderful to see. And then another perk is what's written in the grant is our current 7th and 8th graders are going to be able to go to the high school.
So the second part of the grant, and they're going to go up to Nevada Union.
Nevada Union. So the high school's partnered with us as well. And so our kids will have a chance to take some CT classes there. So they're going to be able to go to a culinary class and actually do some cooking. They're going to do floral and actually make bouquets. We grow flowers, and they cut their bouquets and put it in their classrooms, but they can see like the next level. So it's career exploratory options for them, and then they know, hey, I love this. I can pick that pathway for the high school, which will be beautiful, and it'll be less intimidating to go to a big school.
I know from little schools sometimes it's scary, but if you know, like, hey, I'm going in the floral department or the culinary center or the ag department, you're like, I've been there, I've seen what happens there. That's where I want to go.
And there's a lot of kids that really thrive in the trades and want to do that. It's amazing to just give that opportunity when you're young, to be like, I love this, or even as a hobby.
Yeah, to see that. And there's some great programs up at Nevada Union and Bear River as well. But I know NU will be the point. And then out at the ranch now that they have out McCourtney Road for the high school district. But I wanted to kind of go back, to bringing the special needs students over. That's great because you don't want them in a silo. You don't want them isolated, like we talked about earlier. Wanting to mainstream them, be part of that, and also for the kids in general education to not be nervous. Sometimes there's that that person may be autistic, so I don't know how to act around them, or some other things, but it brings familiarity, and then they're great and working. So that's so cool. You're bringing them there. It'll be eye-opening for both groups. And then going to what you said with your food. With that, I love that. I think stuff or food items that kids would probably not normally buy. If you went to the store with your kids and said, "We're going to buy sauerkraut," they're probably going to go, gross. But if they were in the process of making that and tasting what they made, or tasting what a real tomato coming off a vine in the summer when it's hot. And warm. I mean, it's
candy.
Just, oh my gosh, it is candy, and realize, whoa, this is what these vegetables should be tasting like. Yeah, so that is a great program.
It's great. We actually had a request, the kids wanted coleslaw, so they grew a bunch of cabbage and then sent it off and made coleslaw, and they got it for lunch one day, and they're like, this is the best.
Yeah, the things they'll eat when they do it themselves and experiment, it's great. Yeah, with that. When does this program start?
We're hoping to start it next school year.
Next year, okay. So we're going to start it right away.
So it'll be
next year.
August of next year, and so we received $250,000. So it should cover us for a few years to make this
make this program going.
Yeah.
Now,
really
usually
strong.
I know the state and feds love 3-year cycles. Is this a 3-year cycle grant as well?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah.
Why they like the number 3,
I don't know
I do not know. But in my whole career, it comes in 3s.
Yeah. And then what's wonderful about this is, so with funding for the state, there is some funding you can get. And so the goal is to get this program going, and then maybe we can start getting some state funding. So we can have it, continue.
And this is a state-funded program.
Yes.
Because a lot of people I know, they call my office, and they're concerned with federal cuts going on, which sometimes happen at 2 a.m. for a tweet. And we find out, that program's cut, and then by the end of the day, no, it's not cut. And it's back. So it's very fluid right now with our funding from the federal government. But being a state program, much more stable, you can count on it. It's not going to go away in the wee hours of a morning from a tweet. So that's great with that. And starting in the fall, then running 3 years, get the coordination with the buses, the programs. I'm sure the parents of our special needs students in the classes are probably going to be thrilled when this starts up.
Well, and the goal is if we do a great job, maybe other counties can do this too.
Right.
Which will be really lovely to see this become a state program.
It'll be a state program as well. And then we've got 2 other very small districts here with Clear Creek and Twin Ridges that could possibly replicate this program. So it's wonderful. You're starting it in this area. We'll see if we can replicate it, push it out to other areas. I love it. So talking about, going back to how you got here to this ag orientation, because I've been around a little while here in the county, 34 years, and when I started, that's not what Chicago Park was known for. No. It was a great school, but really it's since you've arrived at Chicago Park that you've really emphasized that and embraced that in our community. So tell me a little bit about that.
So when I came to Chicago Park, it's always been a stellar school, in my opinion. It's always been a top-notch, amazing school. So I was very lucky to be able to get a job there and be able to take over. The last superintendent did a phenomenal job, just an amazing job. And so one of the first things I did was I had conversations with the board about our identity. What makes Chicago Park special? It is a great school. Why would people want to come here? Yeah, and so they kept on bringing up, well, we live in the best area. It's beautiful. If you drive through Chicago Park, it's all ag. They have water. We have the lake right there. It's
pumpkin patches.
Yeah, we have a pumpkin patch.
With the bear wagons. It's all right there.
It's all based around ag. And so they're like, we're ag. So we explored some other programs. And so one thing we did is I took a board member and we drove down to Tulare County and visited a school that was a TK through 8th grade ag program. And so we loved it. And we're like, wow, this is so beneficial to our kids. And so we used that kind of as a jumping off point and made something of our own. Right. We didn't want to copy what they had because they're different. They're Tulare County. So we did our own thing. And so they have goats. We have bunnies and chickens. Right. That fits for us. Yeah. And they have citrus trees. We have apple trees. Those kind of things and other things. So it just was nice to kind of focus what's unique about us. And we had a half acre that we weren't really utilizing. And we're like, this is the place we could put it.
Put a farm.
Yeah, so we put the farm there. And it's been really nice because it's really brought in the community. So we have a fantastic garden club, the Chicago Park Garden Club, that is extremely supportive. And they pop by. We have some families that are, been there for multiple generations that have supported the program. For instance, our greenhouse was delivered at one of their houses at their barn because they did the forklift, take it off, and then we brought it over to school.
Over to your school, right?
So it's really, that's why I think it's been so special because Chicago Park School it's a hub for the community, but it's by adding this, it made it even more so that everyone feels like they can partake. Can participate in it, which makes it really special.
Yeah. Now it's been, like most of our schools, you guys have been there since probably 1868.
1890.
1890. So you're one of the newer schools then from 1890. Okay. Yeah. And you've got an immigrant trail that runs right through Chicago Park area there, and pictures of the old school. And with that, now how many students are currently at Chicago Park?
We have around 170 students.
About 170, which is a really nice size. You know everybody. You know all the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the kids. They know you. Yeah.
We've had multiple generation. I think one of our families is the 4th generation right now in our school.
That's great.
Yeah.
Come back there. I'm thinking, so these kids in this new program are going to be great. Do you have a name for this new program? We got to brand it, right?
We do need to brand it.
So what are you going to call it?
We need to come up with that. Eli and I are going to have to come.
World.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, right now we call it just the Chicago Park Community Farm.
Right.
But Eli and I are going to have to come up with a really good name for it.
There's that. Yeah, because it really does. You need to come up with a great name because if we're going to try to push this out, then we have it. Come and see it.
I know.
Yeah, that's good.
And that comes into all of our brainstorming and planning out sessions that we're going to start pretty soon. That's what our goal is this spring. To plan everything out.
To plant the seeds not plant the seeds, but beyond that.
For fall.
Right, and get that going.
We didn't know, this is a long shot. We didn't know if we'd get the grant.
Right.
We really, because we're elementary school.
CTE,
it's usually for an elementary, it's for high school. So it's amazing. What it tells me is that the people on the panel also believe in it, which is pretty amazing that they also thought this is a really great idea for kids.
I'm sure I can see them in the room reading the grants like, that's pretty similar. Like, whoa. This is different.
This is different.
Yeah, this is exciting. Now, when did you have to put that grant in? Kind of talking about the process, because for our listeners, it's not easy. That's never easy getting these grants. So when did you start this?
So we started the process, I would actually say, Eli and I started the conversation last school year.
Okay.
And so one thing that I love about our county is that once a month, all the superintendents come together and we get to visit programs. And so during those visits, I had a conversation with Eli. I said, what if we had you guys out here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so he brought his staff out and they toured the farm. We had conversations. And then it just started from there. And then I started working with our grant writer in the fall, and we submitted our grant. And there's multiple cycles. Right. That was just our cycle date of when we got it. Yeah, and there's one that just closed, I think it was this week. Okay. That also closed for one. But so it took a while to plan out, but multiple months. And then we pulled in, because there's financial pieces, all those things. We pulled in all kinds of things that had lots of players at the table to get everything in a row. And then you also have to get support letters. So Sierra College is supporting this. They wrote a letter of support. The high school, local organizations like Sierra Harvest supported the program. So it's nice. So you gotta, it takes a little bit.
Yeah, you get the community in there. And then when did you find out you got the grant? When was that?
Pretty recent. We found out right before Christmas.
Okay, so not that long ago.
It was not that long ago. Right. So it's refreshing, and we just approved it right when I got back from Christmas break. And so we should be receiving the funds any minute.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely have to have you back next school year to see how it's going. Give you a couple months to get it going.
I know. Maybe we'll bring Eli too.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, if we can get a third stool in here, we might bring him in here. And Eli Gallup, he's the associate soup for special education in the county. So that's great. Well, great. Well, so if anybody, before we wrap up, if anybody wants to find out anything more about that, can they reach out to you? Call it Chicago Park School?
Chicago Park School.
Or go on your website, or what's the best way?
Our website has ag studies, and so you can look at, there's pictures, there's videos, and so you can kind of see, and you can actually see local companies that have supported it, and so, which is awesome.
Just Google Chicago Park Elementary School District. Don't get the one in Chicago, get the one here in Nevada County.
In Nevada County, but also you can give us a call if you're interested in seeing the program.
And the number?
530-346-2153.
2153, right. The last little place on Mount Olive Road just before you drop down to the Bear River. Well, great. Well, Katie, again, thank you for taking the time to come back into town to do this, but it is such an innovative program. I'm excited about it that it's in this county, and wish you the best of luck in growing this. It's super exciting.
Great.
So thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. And thank you, audience, for listening in. I hope you've learned a little something today about another amazing program we have in our schools. Take care.